Hello, my name's Steve Myers, co-owner of Flinttalkradio, and once John gets in here, we're going to make introductions of new staff to Flinttalkradio.
Okay, I'm John Wilson, as he already said, and this is to the immediate left of me is Chris Rosencrants.
I'm Chris, obviously.
And to my right is a new man we brought on board, Tim Acord.
And he can tell you what he does.
He tells you, yeah, please go ahead.
For Flint Talk Radio, I'll do the advertising. If you want to bring in a new new internet radio show, I can help you with that. Anything that's pretty much the business end of it that deals with the radio shows or advertising, I could help you. And you could give me a call at 810-610-5259.
And another reason we're doing this is because if you've ever wondered who's behind Flint Talk Radio, we thought you would see our faces and that we're real people. Myself and John have been doing this for almost 6 years, I think we figured out. We started out with Larry Cachetti, a good friend. I produced what was then called The Laundry Room.
Yeah. And that was like you said, 6 years ago, and then Larry's still kind of a supporter and a person we go to bounce off ideas.
And as a matter of fact, he actually did last go-around political election. He interviewed Mayor Dane Walling. So he's still active.
So we also have a lot of lineup. We have like a several, in case you're not aware, we have like basically encourage people to come in and talk about whatever they want to talk about. And if they don't want to do a regular show on a regular basis, they're welcome to come on. But we have at least 2 shows that are very welcome to people from the outside, talk about events, social gatherings, stuff like that they want people to have more awareness of so they can participate in it. And
we want to make sure that, like John said, that everyone feels welcome here. We don't take sides during political campaigns. So anybody that wants to come in here, Mayor Walling, Scott Smith, any other candidates are more than welcome to come in here. And I just want to take this time to give the mic to Chris Rosencrants so he can explain to you a little bit what he does.
Basically, most of the technical work, some hard videotaping for television production stuff, Comcast public access, things like that. We can also do in-house video production for bands, political things. Once again, like what Steve said, we don't necessarily take sides, but we would appreciate it if we could hear both sides and not just one. So if you're doing the Republican-Democrat thing and we get a Republican in, the Democrat ought to be coming in shortly thereafter. If you're not, you need to get a hold of us so you can get your message out.
And we do everything we can. If we do have one side, we do everything we can to find out who that campaign manager is, get an email address, telephone number, and we let them know that so-and-so's been on the show, and we want to make sure that they have all the opportunities to come on the show, and we do as much as we can to make that happen.
So basically, I would say we're the embodiment of the First Amendment. Basically, we allow all sides to go up. We don't try to edit anything. Even when we do editing when it goes up to Comcast, when Chris does that, it's not editing for content. It's editing to insert like graphics or logos or whatever, and an intro or whatever. But we let things go we let the chips fall where they may politically. If you're not representing your own belief system well enough, then it's on you. And we're not trying to make you say anything. We're not trying to make you agree with us. You come in and say what you want to say. So that's why I think we are the true embodiment of the First Amendment.
In other words, we give you the proverbial rope. It is to you. What you want to do with it is up to you. If you hang yourself, we won't let you hang yourself.
But I will say another thing is too, we have the ability. You have the ability after you do something here, you can set it up live. Set it up to your friends and family on email. There's a link that you can send to, or if you currently already have a Facebook page, you can put it up on your Facebook page. So this is you can reach a broad audience very quickly with this, and a very low cost. If you are interested in that on a regular basis, please give us a call. Give Tim a call. You already get the number, and we could discuss setting up a show and a time and stuff like that. You could do a weekly show, a bi-weekly show, once a month show, a sporadic show. But we want you to be able to get your word out at a low cost. So please let us know.
And as somebody who's new to seeing what we do, what do you, the last couple of weeks, what do you think of the studio? The people that you met here.
The people are awesome. The format's amazing. It's, for an event, if we can go out and do a remote, people can get their messages out there. Bands or local bars or taverns, any kind of business, charity event.
It's like a
We can do it all.
Yeah, and we've also been approached to do a concert during the summer that I think you're all going to enjoy if it happens the way that it's supposed to happen. Actually, two concerts.
yes. Yeah.
That we're gonna put on the internet, and that's another thing that I always like to bring up. We're not the main event. We're something to convey your message out to people, let them know that your event's going on. When we do our internet shows, as far as the remotes, we try to get the best quality that we can possibly get, but sometimes, you know, we don't always have the best internet connection that we would like. But still, it's a way to let people know that you got a wrestling event here, or that you're doing this over here at this bar. It's a good way to get your message out, and plus, it will be on the internet for all to see. We've got shows that we were talking about that are over 6 years old that are still up on the internet.
Still getting views, too many.
Still getting views and comments. So it's a good way to get your message out and to continue to get your message out. Because the best thing about it, like I just said, is that your message is recorded and can be played over and over and over and over as many times as people want to view it.
And potential for ads here. I mean, advertisers. I mean, this is a more bang per buck than you can imagine. Radio stations, TV stations. When you they put that word out about your sale or about your event, it's gone. It's what's heard, and it's going to go right through people's ears. But here, it's going to be heard as many times as people click on to see that show. It's going to be heard as many times as that show is listened to.
And again, I would pass it over to Tim
that's
to
in Tim's
explain to
hands.
people, because that's what Tim's for.
Right.
To explain to people.
Well, and when you do advertise with us, you're going to get a banner on our webpage.
Yeah.
You're going to get talked about at the top of the hour as a sponsor for every one of our shows for a week. And then your banner will be there for 30 days on the website.
Well, the banner, it'll be at the top of the page. When they go to our friends page, Friends of Flint Talk, it will be at the top of the page for 30 days, and then it will go the next level and
cycle down.
But if we don't get a new advertiser,
you'll stay right at the top.
You can be there until we get the new advertiser, and it does pay off. Flint Talk, we get a lot of views on our videos. I mean, John can tell you how many views we got on the show just today.
Over 800. That's like through the two shows, and that's that's a decent showing because it's a beautiful day out right now. We're recording on May 9th, and this is a gorgeous day. And it's usually twice as high as that, but today's a nice day.
And there's not a radio station or TV station that can give you instantaneous feedback of how many people watched your live show.
They're just guessing at it. That we're more truthful. We have to be, because we can't fudge the statistics like they can. And they're assuming that so many radios out there, so many people are listening to them in that area. Well, that's kind of really edging around the truth quite a bit, I would say. So.
And right now we got a solid package, and that's why we decided to bring Tim on board to help us out, because we're not going to try to sell people a bill of goods. I mean, we've actually got a solid package, and we stand behind Flint Talk Radio and what it can bring to your business or your live remote, 100%.
And another thing is too, we do try to do all kinds of checks beforehand to make sure that it's a go. We're not going to just guess things, and we have to have as much input from you as possible. But if it's possible, we go out for remotes, for example, we go out and look at the location and see what we're up against, see what we got to do. And so we do put a lot of due diligence in behind our efforts.
Okay, and then I think we should just finish and just say, if you haven't talked to one of these four people in this room, Chris Rosencrants, John Wilson, or Tim Acord, or myself, Steve Myers, about anything that goes on to Flint Talk Radio, you haven't talked to Flint Talk Radio. And if somebody's approached you, you need to let us know right now so we can get whatever may have happened fixed.
Yeah, call the number that's for the site number, 810-208-1854, and let us know if somebody's approached you and saying they're representing Flint Talk Radio, because if it's not one of us, they're lying to you.
Okay, and one of us is gonna have to go.
Yeah, I'll go now. I'll see you guys later. Hope you join us sometime, and I gotta stop this recording now. So thank you very much.
Tim can take us out.
And while he's taking us out, I'd like to mention that we can do some things that people haven't thought of as well, like a wedding or a family reunion, we can do a live remote at your event. And family members that might not be able to come to your event would be able to watch it live and interact with you and chat, give a toast.
And before we close out, you want to say anything?
The live streaming shows, typically we can do call-in features. Typically most of the shows run half an hour or an hour. They can be longer. Comcast usually likes either a 30-minute or an hour-long video, and at this point in time we're going to rely on the person who's producing the show, that's their show, to get their disc to Comcast in the meantime until we get something set up. We are new, we are the alternative to most media that's around, and basically we're trying to fill the hole that Comcast had left when they pulled the studio out of Genesee County here, so that we can not work against them but work with them to get community messages out, cultural issues, political topics of the day, pretty much anything that you want to talk about as far as streaming or doing a hard recording for later distribution with public access television. Most all of that should be easily done in-house. As Tim said, we can come to you. Most of the stuff is easier here, and it's certainly cheaper if you come to us. And other than that, I'll pass it back to Tim, but I guess to reiterate once again, if you haven't talked to one of us, you haven't made any kind of agreement or anything with Flint Talk Radio. And probably our primary point person for most of our public contacts is going to be Tim in the future, so that Steve, John, and myself don't get mixed up with vagaries of who talked to who about what.
So we can do what we do. I do web, Chris does technical, and John produces, and Tim is our point man for new shows and
advertising.
And I couldn't have said it any better myself. With that, I think we're done, John.
And we look forward to hearing from you.
See you soon.